Come on in. Pull up a chair and chat with us. We're talking with an amazing actress. You know her in roles like in Avatar, Fast and the Furious franchise. She's been in some of the top-grossing films of all time. Her latest is this wonderful, sweet movie called Milton's Secret. It's in theaters Friday. Please welcome SAG Award winner Michelle Rodriguez. You know,
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
When we heard you're coming on the show, I'm like, great. They're like, are we going to build a ring and we're going to go fight or whatever? It's Michelle, like, you come with this edge to you, girl fight. You know, you have like all these movies that you've done that really bring an edge. And then I hear about this. Like I hear about this movie that you're doing that really shows the other side of you.
I'm all grown up now.
You're all grown up.
Got all the tension out.
Yeah.
Now I'm like maternal.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about like what the softer side of you coming out in this film.
Well, I've always loved Eckhart Tolle's work. He's inspired me throughout the years, just as I've been searching for tools to calm myself down, to remember that I'm human. Sometimes I think with the influx of information that we get, you know, always on our phones or worried about what's going on tomorrow, what's on the agenda, what's on the schedule, we kind of get ahead of ourselves. And for me specifically, I have a hard time with the value system in my mind, what I give value to on a daily basis. You know, I'll be in a car and somebody will be going slow in front of me and I'll be like, what's this? Come on, man, what are you, grandma? And then I remember Eckhart's, you know, a reminder to me to analyze my thoughts and realize that I'm in control of the value that I give every thought that I have.
What a great lesson for all of us.
Just kind of like makes me feel so dumb when I act angry or, you know, I get upset about things. I'm like, ugh, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm walking this planet. The people I love are alive and they're breathing. Like, what are you doing, Michelle?
Yeah, but you know what? Let me.
It's like a wake-up call.
And say, I mean, add to that and say, don't judge it, and just be grateful that you caught yourself in that moment and you brought yourself back to present.
Yeah.
He does every time.
That's all right.
No, I didn't know you were spiritual like that.
That's good. You play a really amazing teacher in this movie that is a huge influence on the students.
Aww.
And we have a clip of that. I'm going to show you a clip of Michelle playing this great teacher, Miss Ferguson. Take a look.
Does anybody have any questions about Parents' Night? Speeches? You doing some research, Anna? Pay attention to content and presentation. You will be getting graded. My recommendation is you use your electronics to record yourself. Does anybody know the secret to public speaking?
Projectile vomiting.
It's to tell the truth. Straight from the heart.
Well, we don't know about truth, Miss Ferguson.
You'll know it when you feel it, Tim. Carter, have you chosen a topic yet?
No.
How about climate change?
I hate that topic.
Football?
I hate that topic too.
Is there any topic that you don't have some?
I hate them all.
Fine. Then that's your topic. Why I hate everything.
She really has a huge influence on those kids' lives in this movie. You didn't have a Miss Ferguson when you were growing up in school, did you?
No, I didn't, and it would have been great, you know, because I was raised at a time where we were kind of slowly being introduced to the technological era that we live in today, and the influx of information that I was getting as a teen, I was in no way, shape, or form prepared to mine it for quality. It's all about quantity. And I feel like, you know, the education system today needs to adapt to the way kids are learning. There's so many kids, you know, across the country just being misdiagnosed with ADD, and it's really selective memory that they have. They're just not interested in what you have to say because you're not capturing their attention. And I just, you know, I felt like, you know, this role was a cool moment for me to, like, live vicariously in the shoes of that teacher I wish I had.
Yeah, it's true. I find that with my kids. When they're ready, the teacher shows up.
And
only when they're ready to learn, you know. So you have to catch them at that moment. Let me go back in your past a little bit and snoop around and whatever. And there was a girl named who, you laugh now, but it wasn't funny back then.
No, it wasn't.
Stacy was your bully.
Yeah. Stacy Abraham.
Wow.
She was, I remember because I used to fight boys in growing up. I grew up in Jersey City, you know,
Right,
so
yeah.
it was rough in class.
The boys would fight you. How rude.
They picked on me for wearing a dress. My grandmother made me wear Sunday school dresses to public school. You don't do that in the 90s.
Cute, I bet you.
Jersey City, it's like, come
You're
on.
adorable.
I'm trying to survive, Grandma. Don't do this to me. So I used to get into fights, and a lot of those fights were with guys. But girls are actually worse to fight because they scratch.
Oh, no.
They scratch and they leave you scars, and I never liked fighting girls.
So what was her story? What did she just didn't like you?
Just didn't like the way that I walked into the classroom. I
Interesting.
walked in with my, air of, it was a new school. I'd gotten kicked out of the last one.
Oh, boy.
Well, you have swagger. Since I've known you, you always had a swagger.
And had I known about Eckhart Tolle's teachings, had I known about alchemy at the time, how to transform yourself, and I wouldn't have walked into that room with that swagger. I wouldn't have attracted that kind of attention. She literally just walked out of class after school and beat me up in the park. Oh, I was like, I don't want to fight you. And it's just scratched me all up. Girls like to scratch. What is up with that?
Well, listen.
I'd rather get a bruise from a guy than like...
Yeah.
But all that fighting came in handy later on down the road because you say had you not been cast in Girl Fight, you might have ended up in prison.
Yeah, I totally would.
Why?
Because it was a gnarly upbringing. There was always something adventurous to do in Jersey City, and everything that involved adventure would probably involve breaking the law.
Oh, boy.
And I was young and stupid,
But you weren't dumb enough to not read the ad section because you answered an ad for this.
I totally did.
What did it? Do you remember that moment? Were you looking through the newspaper? Was it in a magazine? Was it on a board?
It was in backstage. It was a newspaper that I had picked up because I liked researching what it was like to make movies. So I went and did extra work on various films, but then I kind of got bored with that and just looked at the paper for auditions, and I found one for Girl Fight.
And you had never acted before?
Never. It was an open cattle call. Yeah.
And were you trained at all?
No, not trained.
Not a single class?
Not a single class. It was a movie about a boxer that I was auditioning for. So I basically told the woman, who was casting it, Orpheus Talent, I believe, was the name of the company. And I remember telling her, I was like, look, I have no experience in acting, but I'm not scared of your cameras, and I could probably beat up half the girls here.
How many girls did you beat out?
By the way, that laughter you hear, they're all nervous laughter, okay? I just say
Be
it.
scared, be very scared. How many girls did you beat out to get that role?
Beat out, by the way.
Beat out, not beat up.
It was an open cattle call. That's what they call it when you have a casting with lots of people that come in.
Right.
It was about probably 300.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is super impressive. That doesn't happen every day. You know that.
It doesn't.
Of all those films that I'd mentioned, when you think of Fast and the Furious, it just dawned on to me that it's been 3 years since the passing of Paul Walker, your co-star. Yeah. Did you guys ever have, sometimes you carry a moment with you forever with somebody that you've encountered. Was there anything that you still hold on to, moment that you had together that just the two of you shared?
Yeah, I mean, plenty. Us three specifically, we're like those misunderstood kids that have big hearts, and if you don't get us properly, we could go the wrong path. And we got lucky to be in this place where we were given an opportunity to express ourselves in a way that we can be understood by the world. And that's what we shared together. Paul had a big heart, and he hated the superficiality of making movies and propaganda and stuff like that. He felt like he could do more by being, a marine biologist or helping the sharks or, going to some third world country and helping them out. And I just, our conversations were always like, look, man, what we do for a living is a vehicle for who we are in life. And you take that money that you make and you go do you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And those were the types of conversations that me and Paul had. And And that's the kind of guy he was. He's just a dude with a really big heart who always wanted to do more than what he, you know, was.
Well, I love that you found your zen. You're such a, you are just at the sweet place.
Really
By the
big
way,
heart.
catch Michelle, Milton's Secrets, a wonderful film. It's in theaters Friday. Thank you for coming by. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
You were awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so open. Thank you. Up next, it's the